Hello all. Well, there's some more information on climate change coming out. I wanted to talk to you about it and then bring up another subject after that. A new IPCC study warned that a collapse of the Atlantic Ocean currents driving warm water from the tropics towards Europe could be more likely than researchers previously estimated. This is an event that would send temperatures plummeting in much of the European continent. So what happens is this current, as we know, called the AMOC, comes up from the south, brings warm water up past New York and the east coast of the U.S. and goes across the Atlantic and warms up Europe and keeps them from being in a deep freeze, because their latitude is that of Greenland, so it should be ice covered, but because of this current, it's kept warm. Now, if this current was to suddenly stop, they're in real big trouble, because then the cold air would plummet down from the North Pole and they would become very cold. The AMOC, which includes the Gulf Stream, could be headed for a cliff-like collapse, according to the new study, as human-caused global heating, which is melting the Greenland ice sheet, causes massive quantities of fresh water is released into the North Atlantic, cooling the AMOC. This delivers the bulk of the Gulf Stream heat towards the tipping point. This could stop the current in its tracks immediately. So this new study, the scientists are very concerned about what is going to happen with the current. Will it stop? Will all this melting of Greenland cause the current to stop? Well, they looked into some ice cores from over a mile down, and they have found that Greenland has melted, not all the way, but quite a ways, and every time Greenland melts like that, the current stops and Europe becomes a deep freeze. Now, unfortunately, we're sort of headed into that same scenario these days, because humans continuously pump greenhouse gases into the atmosphere from burning fossil fuel is the main reason. Now, there's others that we've talked about, such as methane and other chemicals that are pumped into the air with carbon dioxide, but the main culprit is fossil fuels, and unfortunately humans don't want to stop fossil fuel development, because that would mean that they'd have to come up with an alternative. Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you about was, why are we getting so many people not believing in climate change? Why is it considered a conspiracy now, when the scientists all over the world unanimously tell us that climate change is real and happening, and that we need to pay attention to it right now before it's too late? And one of the problems I don't understand is why the Orange Man is so popular around the planet. How does he get his popularity when he is so inept and stupid and ignorant of what the situation around the world is? And yet he's got this huge following. About a third of the U.S. is all backing him, maybe even more, because the polls are showing that Biden is now behind the Orange Man by over almost 10 points in some polls. This is disastrous if he was to get in, because if he gets in, he says he'll run a dictatorship, which means that he'll be in office until he dies. He will no longer abide by the every 4 years we vote for a new, because a dictatorship, they don't hold elections like that. They may hold elections, but they don't count for anything. They just say that they won, and that's the end of it. So why is it that somebody that is so stupid, so ignorant, so lack of knowledge, and so full of dementia be so popular around the planet? There are so many more intelligent people that could be more popular, but there isn't. It's as if we prefer in the U.S. to have stupid people in charge. Why is that? Why would you have somebody who has a complete lack of knowledge of climate change, will not study it, will not read any of the reports that come across the desk or his eyes? The only thing he cares about is playing golf and breaking the law and getting away with it, and thinking that that's what life is about, is breaking the law, getting over, and becoming more and more popular because of it. I don't understand it. I really don't. I do not understand how intelligent people could get behind this guy, but they do it all the time. And they know he's as ignorant and as stupid as he sounds in his rallies, his Hitler rallies. Now he says he's going to open up camps, many, many camps, hundreds of camps, to put migrants and anybody that opposes him into. Why and why are we continuously backing such a fool? Is there more to it than we see? What is going on? There's a whole group of religious folks that think he's the next God. Honestly, really? Do you listen to what he says? Do you check out whether he's talking facts or not? You know, every time he has a rally, people count his lies, and they're always 20, 30, 40 lies that he tells to his followers, and they just drink it up. They cheer for him. He could say that the moon is red, and they believe it. I don't understand it. Why is the situation so bleak here in the U.S.? And you know, if he gets into office, that means that even NATO will be destroyed, because he's saying, he came out last night saying that NATO countries aren't paying their way. Well, see, he doesn't even know how NATO works. NATO has a requirement to be in NATO that you put 2% of your GDP into defense. It doesn't say that you put money into Donald Trump's pocket. That's what he thinks. He thinks that they're ripping him off because they're not paying him money. Honestly, people, and it just blows my mind that he would be anywhere near the popularity that he is, and pushing this thing that climate change is just a hoax, and he flips it off. Of course, he's never involved with climate change because he just gets in his plane and goes somewhere else. Honestly, people, we need to wake up to what's going on the planet. We have to see it. And, you know, I've been having trouble with even people watching me saying that I'm a conspiracy nut because I talk about what the scientists are telling us. Is that real? Can that be real? Or am I just dreaming all this, and I'm going to wake up in some day and all of this hell will be over, and we'll have dealt with climate change. We'll move towards progressive movements and progressives being put into office around the planet. Wars will have ended, and the planet will be in a much better situation. Right. Come on, wake up. This is not real. I appreciate any comments you have, any ups, any new subscribers, and until next time.